Hello everyone and welcome back to TYTO Ecology, the Cretaceous Mongolia DLC, and we are back with our dinos and they're still alive! I am so relieved, you guys! We left these beautiful creatures for about 3 months here in our biodome, and I was really worried that I was going to come back. Oh my gosh, look at it! Look at how beautiful it is. Oh, when it looks around, oh my goodness. Yeah, these dinosaurs are some of the most handsome, beautifully coated creatures I have seen in a very long time. But we'll focus on that in a little bit. For now, I just kind of want to celebrate the fact that it seems like we still have life in this biodome. I was so worried we were going to come back and there was going to be nobody left. No, run, my little monk! Run! You're on a path for disaster! Look at the back! Oh my gosh, look at all the lines! Jeez, these are beautiful creatures. I cannot wait to see our entire biodome really start to flesh out, really start to fill up with all of these beautiful plants, of which it seems our horsetails have actually survived the onslaught of our Protoceratops quite well. And here is an adult Protoceratops hanging out over here. It seems that the mini prancing and rushing about babies that we used to have are not quite so numerous anymore. There's still a few of them hanging out under this palm tree. Look at them, or excuse me, under this cycad. Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. I love their little tails. And I think I saw, is this a baby? It's a baby! You guys, we have some of the baby Mononychus. Oh my gosh, is it coming over here? It is an insect eater, so it's probably headed straight for a termite mound somewhere. But we even have our Oviraptors doing quite well. So it seems that nobody has really gone completely extinct just yet. It's more of the babies! Look! Oh my gosh, they're so cute! I am so in love with them! And we even have some baby cycads that, even though they're currently being nibbled on, are doing quite well. So these guys are spreading really well. I think we should definitely get more cycads down ASAP. They seem to really be holding in there and spreading all over the place. Most of our population seem to be holding steady, stable, or at least not completely completely flopping over and just going extinct. So hopefully we can keep up that pattern and keep everybody alive. But I'm really relieved to see that releasing the Velociraptors into our biodome hasn't seemed to completely destroy everything. I was a little bit worried that they were just going to eat absolutely everybody and we were going to come back and I wasn't going to have any of our little herbivores left. But it seems that they're actually doing pretty well, and these guys are in the flowering period. Oh, I need to put more of these down. They're just so beautiful. All right, let's see if I can get some more down while they are still flowering. There we go. Okay, and these ones aren't flowering because I just put them down. But I want to make sure, I think Mongolias, yeah, in modern time, these would be called Mongolias. So I'm just going to call these the Mongolias as a result. And I do want to, oh yes, now it's blooming. I want to put a few of them down so we can have those beautiful early flowers very early on in the evolutionary stage, I think, of having these beautiful blossoms. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. But pretty early on into having flowering plants plop up around the place. But I really love them. I think they're quite beautiful. And we do have the ginkgo trees. And some of you guys were saying like, no, Seri, trees didn't exist back then. But these are some of the early ancestors. Like ginkgo biloba is still around to this day. It's still one of my favorite plants. I do have a ton of them in the neighborhood. They've been planted as decorative plants in my neighborhood. So maybe I will be able to show you guys some of the beautiful ginkgos that every time I walk by them, I actually do think about how old they are and that the species has been around and that it has been evolving ever since the dinosaurs roamed. And it's really fun when you see things that are that old and haven't changed very much on the time scale of their genetics. All right, there we go. Another ginkgo. I mean, I'm sure they've tweaked a little bit, but man, some plants and some animals are really stubborn and just don't adapt at all, probably because they don't need to. And others change pretty quickly. Oh, where are you guys going? All right, anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about adaptability. And ooh, he's on the hunt. He's on the hunt. Oh. And he's rescuing the cycads. So it seems dead. Yep, it seems our Velociraptor has actually done his little bit to contribute to keeping the Protoceratops population in check, and now he's sleeping over his kill. Oh my gosh. which in turn is going to protect the little forest that we've got down here, which I really absolutely adore. Because as a result of having those predators in there to be able to protect the small little ones, the small cycads and the adults that are spreading their seeds and propagating through our biodome, we're actually going to see the forest grow. And it is really weird to me, but it's true, and it happens in real life too. And if you really want to learn about this, definitely study like the effects that Yellowstone and wolves and managing the elk and deer populations had. But when you introduce a healthy predator population, you usually see a really great explosion of diversity in your plants. And I could just go on and on about that. And oh my goodness, they're not flowering anymore. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Anyway, I'm getting into plant reproductive cycles again. What is it, Seri? What is it about you that just has to like gush on and on about plant reproduction? But speaking of plants, let's continue getting down a really nice variety of plants in this biodome so that hopefully we'll be able to focus on having a whole bunch of them spread around the place. I don't know why it didn't occur to me the very obvious fact that if I wanted the plants to survive so that we could have a whole bunch of our little herbivores and omnivores survive, I should be putting down a variety of plants. When you have monoculture, where you keep only like one variety of plant, if something happens to those plants, like they're just easier than others to eat, so all of your herbivores eat like every single one of them, or oh, look at the little baby monos, oh, I'm so in love, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, just digging right into that termite mound. I absolutely love it. But basically, if you have only one plant and then it turns out to be the plant that's super easy for everything to eat, then everything might eat that plant into extinction. And then they're going to die because you only had one plant. Monoculture, not very good. Think like the potato famine, basically. But if I keep a wide variety of plants and a lot of biodiversity, then they might be able to be nibbled a little bit, each species nibbled a little bit by all the different animals, and that will take off the pressure. So hopefully our Protoceratops won't completely eat up one entire species because they're too busy nibbling just a little bit from multiple species. And we should stop having species collapse as a result, because I kept having the collapse of so many of our plant species, which then led to the collapse of so many of our herbivore species. Yes, and these guys are spreading too. My goodness. The plants are really doing a great job of spreading around the place. Let's see. And then what do we have going on over here? Oh, we have the bones. Oh, he's going for it. And did he just take out an adult? Oh my gosh, I think he just took out an adult. Okay, so our Velociraptors will actually keep the adult populations in check too, which is good to know. All right, well, that's really great. And speaking of plants and having great biodiversity of plants, let's add in a new plant just because we can. Let's see, which one would I pick? Maybe this tall guy. It might be kind of fun to have like this Araucaria spreading up along the background because we don't have anything at the back of our biodome. So let's go ahead and buy it. And then just have to wait a second while we get some energy. Oh, look at you. Whoa. He's really cool. Yeah, let's put him, I guess, back here for just a second. There's only one of him. So speaking of keeping different plant species from collapsing into extinction, I should probably get more of him. Just in case. Look at that, 600 leaves. Something tells me he might be really yummy for the taller creatures. Oops, sorry about that. For the taller dinosaurs that we could add in, because there's some big uns. There's some really big uns that we could be putting in here. And I'm really looking forward to that. But before you add in a very, very large herbivore, you probably want to focus on adding in tons of food for him. So let's put down a few of these guys at the back and then read about them for a second. So what do we have here? Most Araucaria trees, and I'm going to completely mispronounce it, so just hang in there with me, guys, produce some type of cone or nut. In your biodome, they will produce cone-like growths for your animals to eat. Large trees, like Araucaria, may have provided shelter for animals during the Cretaceous period. Very interesting. I wonder if the little monks could skitter up a tree, kind of like squirrels could, and then maybe hide in the branches to get away from the Velociraptors and things like that. They are the ancestors of modern conifer trees. So cool. And in their biome, let's see, often grew from sandy delta mud flats. Oh, so I stuck him up high thinking he would want kind of the drier sort of territory, but actually putting him down by the water would have been better. Not that that's going to affect anything in the biodome, I think. The family originated around the Jurassic period, if not earlier, before the extinction event that wiped out much of the biological diversity around the Cretaceous period. Trees from this family were found all over the world. See guys, trees were a thing back then, so don't panic at this period that we're working with. We actually did have several tree species showing up. Kind of like we talked about how grass wasn't really a thing until a certain period of millions of years ago, which still blows my mind because you can look out a window anywhere in the world now and see grass. We have species like pandas who are dedicated to eating grass, like a very specific type of grass. So I think that's so fascinating, something that we take for granted in our everyday life, having to walk all the way back and think, oh, but when did that first show up? That's one of my favorite things to do when it comes to studying evolution. There's evidence that trees belonging to this family could be found near the Nymagant Formation in what is now Mongolia. Now I'm curious. I have to look that up and find out what that is. All right. Anyway, they are inspired by Araucaria bidewilgi, which is a modern descendant. There's little in the fossil record that would give clues of what these plants truly looked like 75 million years ago in Mongolia. So interesting. And they produced seeds via cones. And oh man, okay, I better get out of here before I start talking about the reproductive life cycles of oh my goodness. You guys already had babies? Man, the plant, is it just me or are the plants not waiting at all? Their reproduction is like off the charts right now. It's supposed to be super low, but those guys were ready to have some babies. I've got baby plants popping up all over the place. I have no complaints about that though. We've got some pretty hardy populations of other creatures that are going to start eating these. So, all right, and there goes my Velociraptor. Doing good. When do they breed? Let's actually check that out. All right, our Velociraptors have 17 weeks before they are going to have some babies. And then we have got all of our termites over there. We've got Oviraptors, 4 weeks, and then our Oviraptors will have babies. Oh my goodness. Okay, our little monks are really reproducing at a rapid rate. They're actually pulling down the population on this patch of termites quite heavily because they are about to have a whole bunch of babies again. 2 more weeks. We've got 16 juveniles. So as fun as the little monks are, I might want to add in... Oh, somebody's fleeing for their lives. Run, little ones, run! So I might want to add in another predator because it seems the Velociraptors are not having as much of an impact as I was kind of hoping they would on the population. And we have 28 Protoceratop juveniles right now. So, maybe I do want to add in either another patch of Velociraptors or... Let's see. Yeah, the Velociraptor would probably be the best thing. They don't seem to go as hog wild on eating everybody as I was worried about. And I think that they're the best carnivore I could put in because the Oviraptors will only eat sometimes the baby Protoceratops, and maybe, I bet the Oviraptors might go after the little monks, but they're not really like chasing them down. They seem to prefer the cycads. So you know what? We're going to add in another Velociraptor population, maybe at this back corner. Yeah, we'll add it in kind of over here, meant to go into the other territory as well. And that should keep it from overlapping, hopefully, too much with this population. But let's add in more raptors. It is time. And how are our details? Doing pretty good with the diversity score on the plants. Might want to pull it up on the animal diversity. And they're off. So we'll have to see if that was a good choice or not. I hope it was at keeping all of the populations kind of balanced. And then let's see what to add in next. Maybe some more termites. Back up there would be good for the monk population that's exploding. Down here, I want to get more plants, so maybe some ginkgos, so we can get some big trees. We need to start having the big trees really spread about the place if we are going to feed the big guys that we have coming in the future, because they're big. They're really big. Look at all the little monks. All right. Hopefully that was a smart move on the Velociraptors, and I won't regret that. And I want to put more trees back here. Come on. Speed along, little biome. I'm not making that much in TYTO coins right now, so the more creatures we add in, the better we can do on TYTO coins. Let's see. We'll put in another big guy over here. There's little baby cycads happily spreading all over the place. I'm super impressed by them, actually. And then, let's see. Maybe we could get, like, all the plants, because we've been talking about plant reproduction so much. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock this one too. And we'll just start putting down all the plants because they seem to be spreading pretty well. And then maybe we can get horsetails all along the river. That could be a good goal. We've got little ones running all over the place. How these cycads are able to keep trying to reproduce and keep putting down babies, even though we've got so many little munchy protoceratop mouths? That's a good question. And a few of you guys have told me I probably want to put in a third pair of Velociraptors. And I'm a little nervous about that idea, but I'm not going to discount it because it might be a very good one indeed. Where should I put these? I think we'll go ahead and put these guys over here. So what on earth? Oh no, a group of termites has died. Well, at least our first extinction casualty is a bunch of bugs. I can easily fix that one. So it seems the termites are really favored foods of the baby monks. And I wonder if the baby monks are so small, would we be able to add in one of the tiny? Okay, I'm going to add in another patch of pollinators, by the way. Our little mosquitoes. But there is a teensy tiny little carnivore who's extra small, but I think he would need a whole bunch of these extra small insectivores to eat. And what do the monks count as? They count as small. So maybe these guys, our little delta theridariums, oh my gosh, our little deltas could eat the baby monks. That might be worth checking out because their population is getting a little bit out of control too. And I'm kind of curious to see what he would do. But if he's a carnivore and I don't have any of these extra small insectivores, I worry that he would starve. So I guess what we need is a lot of mosquitoes. I feel like what we need is a ridiculous amount of these pollinating mosquitoes absolutely everywhere. Nice, lush, ferny territory. We're going to add in these cycads. I think it's their high fruit content that is keeping them from being completely eaten because they produce so much fruit. Maybe that's why their leaves aren't getting completely nommed up by all of the hungry little protoceratops. But we want a nice, humid, lush area full of mosquitoes, I think, that could feed a whole bunch of our hungry little insectivores. And then once we have tons and tons of mosquitoes, I can try adding in these itty-bitty little insectivores who might be quite cute. I'm hoping they're really cute. Just for my sake, I'm hoping they're super duper cute. And we'll put in more of these flowers and we'll see if those will reproduce. We'll kind of make like a little humid patch back here. Yay! All right. So we're going up on diversity score. Thank goodness. I wonder if it's just like how much you add, if it's quantity or of the species, or if it is like quantity of the diversity of the species that leads to that income. Because I want to get this income up really, really high so that we're able to start earning more TYTO coins and unlocking more things, so that we can really start moving and grooving on adding in the big guys in the future, and maybe even being able to skip months, skip ahead. You can actually select to be able to skip ahead on like time sometimes, and that will allow you to see what's going on. See, right, I think it's right down here. See, you can purchase time skips with your TYTO coins, and then you can go ahead and see how everything would have changed from moment to moment. But I do think we have too many. I'm feeling like we have way too many of all of our herbivores again. Velociraptors breed in 10 weeks, these ones in 43 weeks, and these ones in 10 weeks, they're going to have more babies. So you know what? I think we are going to add in a third patch of Velociraptors. Makes me a little nervous, not going to lie. I'm slightly concerned. This is too many Velociraptors, but it might be enough to kind of help control a population. So here's a third patch of Velociraptors that I'm a little uncertain about, but some of you guys were telling me thinking rules of 3. So that's what I'm going to try out, and we're going to see how this works and if I regret it or not. But I think that they're absolutely freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh. I mean, aren't they? Look at them. Look at those claws. Look at those feathers. Oh man, they are just the best. And then we've got the little monks over here. Too many little monks. I'm sorry, little guys. If we want to see this biodome thrive, it's all about balance, as are most things in life. Balance, balance, balance. So let's put down a few of the new plants back here. And then we do have an explosion of baby monks. Look at them eating all those termites. There's tails wagging all over the place. So hopefully that'll keep them in check too. But let's see. Let's put down a couple more things, and then I think we're going to start finishing off our days with our beautiful biodomes by settling down and just kind of admiring what we have created and how it's working so far. Because there's something really fun about seeing all of the little plants spread all over the place and just being able to watch life kind of proliferate all over our biodome. Not just because it's beautiful greenery. I am a sucker for ferns though. All right, let's put you over here, my little friend. And maybe with a hugely diverse selection of plants, we will do better than we have in the past. I definitely need to add in quite a few more here and there. I'm really hoping the 3 patches of Velociraptors. Oh, somebody's eating down here. All right, another Protoceratops down. Sorry, little guy. It's just the cycle of life. Lots and lots of herbivores to support our carnivores. The way they sleep over their kills kind of cracks me up. We've got baby monks in the background. Here's another baby monk running by. Oviraptors nibbling on the cycads, which is awesome. And then down here is kind of like my favorite spot so far, where you just have all of the beautiful horsetails and ferns. There goes a velociraptor. You've got little baby monks splashing through the water, or flying through the air. I think it's a little bit early for that evolutionary stage, but that's okay. And then we've got over here. Are you guys like scavenging off this? Interesting. I didn't know that they would be little scavengers, but I guess most creatures would be. So it's really nice to see that the meat points are not going to waste, even if the velociraptors move on and they want a fresher kill. And then we've got little mushrooms. This is my favorite spot because it's so green. So lush and green and beautiful, but definitely starting to be overrun with some herbivores. So good call, you guys who were telling me that we should try to think in patches of 3 for our predators. I hadn't really thought about that because usually you're taught the opposite, where you want to think in patches of 3 for your herbivores. But I guess we do technically have like 3 little patches of herbivores for the carnivores to eat. But all right, I think we're doing pretty good. Getting a little bit nervous. I'm feeling like we're really starting to push on the upper range of some of our animals. I definitely think that it might be a smart move pretty soon. Yeah, hunger is there. Not terrible. Oh no, our monks just had more babies. There's 34 juveniles running around the place. And our Protoceratops population, even with the carnivores in here, are still doing pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to mostly watch out for keeping our plants going. And if we can keep the plants going, I think everything else will just naturally fall into place. So, all right, we're going to have to completely cover this area with trees, I think. We might open up another zone, spend some of our TYTO coins to open up another zone for this area in the future too. And we'll check in. And hopefully, when we come back next time, we will have some baby velociraptors running around. And that will be really cool to see. That will be really, really cool to see, actually. And that might start helping us when they start reproducing themselves with keeping the herbivore populations in check. So that's going to be really fun. But all right, guys, they're not dead. We haven't driven the dinosaurs to extinction just yet. I definitely cannot wait until we really can get a lot of TYTO coins and we can really start rolling in them, so we can speed time up in little chunks when we feel confident. But it looks like we may have invited in enough carnivores to really start the hunt just in time. Just in time. All right, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.